Hey YouTube, Louis Pate, Cruiser Lou Outdoors. Continuing the video series on my new air rifle. I started out with a Crosman Fire in 177. Could not get the rifle to hit. I think most of that was probably me because I was shooting it incorrectly. But I go into that in another video. But what I replaced it with was a Gamo Wildcat Whisper, as you can see here. And what I want to talk to you about is the scope that's on it. That is a Centerpoint 4x16 by 40 millimeter objective lens, adjustable objective, dual red-green illuminated mil dot recital, locking finger adjustable target turrets, again 4x16 power, and fast focus eyepiece over here, which is pretty cool. I purchased that mount off Amazon. There we go. And also I purchased an extended trigger adjustment screw from Airgun Detectives. The screw that was in it is 2.5 millimeter by 5 millimeter, and they sent me a set screw that is 2.5 millimeter by 10 millimeter, and it made a huge difference in the trigger pull. I will be replacing the trigger, and as far as the gun goes, I'm going to be putting a bipod on it and a monopod on the stock, and I'm going to do something else to it, but I'm not going to say anything about that right now because I think you guys will like it once I'm done with it. But I hope to get around to it this week, but we'll see. Because right now what I'm doing is concentrating on figuring out this gun and finding the pellet that it likes. Now, for pellets, I have gone through, to start with, I had a variety pack of daisies that had a flat point, a hollow point, and a pointed point. Most of those went through the other gun. I don't have anything to represent those here, other than their pointed point is pretty much identical looking to the Crosman, which I have an example of here, and I'll show you. But I couldn't get any results out of those. And they're cheap pellets. And I can tell you right now, if you get what you pay for. If you buy cheap pellets, that's exactly what you're going to get. As to the high-end pellets, I can't speak to them because I haven't bought any yet. Probably the most expensive thing I've purchased so far would be the Gamo Red Fires, which my gun did not like them at all. So, but again, I had the daisies, and then as far as Crosman goes, I have Crosman Premier pointed. I tried their Piranha hollow point, which I got to speak a little bit on that. They were so tight going in the bore that oftentimes, if you didn't have it perfectly straight, when you went to push the skirt into the bore, you would mangle the skirt. And even when you did have it straight, they were still so hard to push in, they made my thumb, almost blistered my thumbs. I actually had to make a loading tool for those. But some of them were really tight, some of them weren't, ergo wildly inaccurate downrange. Let's see, other Gamo. Gamo Tomahawks are the ones right now that I've found that are shooting good out of my gun. And the other that is shooting really good out of my gun are I'm not sure how to pronounce this, so I'm going to spell it to you. Umarex. Rumex? I can't say it. Anyway, they are sort of like a I'm going to call them a hybrid. They're not really a dome. They're not really a flat nose. But I'm going to show you pictures of all of these. We're going to flip the camera around here in a minute. The process of finding a load for an air rifle can be rather daunting, because I think most air rifles tend to be really picky about what you feed them. But be that as it may, let's go ahead and get to the pellets here this round. Okay. Now here we have, these are the Crosman Premiers. This is unfired, and I believe this one went into either Ballistics Gel or wet toilet paper. I can't recall. And then the other one there was definitely into wet toilet paper. Next in line, I'll show you the Tomahawks. Now these are pretty cool. As you can see, they have a really slight little post sticking up out of the middle there. Let me see if I can get you a good picture of it. There you go. And these two over here went into Ballistics Gel, and you can see that it really flattened out, made a tremendous crush cavity. When I say tremendous, 1/2, 3/4 of an inch, that lasted the entirety of its flight into the Ballistics Gel, which was about 2.5 or 3 inches. And the gel that I did, it's the ratio is 1 ounce of gelatin, clear gelatin, per 8 ounces of water. And I don't know if that's 10%, but it allows me to shoot and see a wound channel and see what kind of penetration I get out of those pellets. Now those Crossmans, they will go 6-8 inches easy into this stuff. These guys right here, again about 3 inches, but a big wound cavity. These guys, they're the most accurate, and the cool thing about these is you see they don't really expand. I mean, they flatten and deform, but they don't really expand. But they leave a pretty good wound cavity. But I want to say this about wound cavity. In my mind, when you're talking about small game, and I'm talking squirrels and birds the size of crows or pigeons down, I think it's more important to be able to precisely place your shot than it is to have something that's going to do a lot of damage as it goes through. If you think about just the size of a 177 caliber pellet, 4.5 millimeters, that whatever that pellet is, it's going to punch a hole at least that big in whatever you're shooting. So if you pass all the way through it, then you've made a wound channel that's 4.5 through it. Anything other than that is bonus, but whether it really matters or not, I don't know. I'm not even sure that it matters that much in human beings. My understanding is that even with modern combat rounds like 7.6239, 545, 556, 308, none of those really start to do any temporary crush damage until you get them above 2,000 feet per second, and you're not doing that out of an air rifle with anything. So, you know, I think it's a moot point. But so far, these are the most accurate. Coming in, generally I can shoot at 10 yards off the rest. I'm shooting a 10-shot group that I can cover with a dime, with the exception of 2, sometimes 3 flyers, which are probably my fault, that open the group up to an inch, inch and a half. These guys right here are closely behind. The Crossmans, not so much. We're going to call them, 3/4 inch. Again, this is all at 10 yards. But they really penetrate, and they may get better the further out I get. I'm going to try to, my next step is I want to zero this rifle at 30 yards. I'm going to try to go to 30. I may not be able to. I may have to go to 20, dial it there, and then again at 30. And the reason being is because in that 10 yards, some of these pellets are making drastic changes in the way they fly. So, and what I may end up with is these guys right here don't look like they're going to do good at 25 yards so far. These guys right here do, and these are an unknown quantity because I haven't taken them out there yet. So, but one other thing I wanted to show you. I'm going to put this over here, put a water bottle up to hold my phone so I can show you this. I made this little deal right here. Now this, as you can see, is just a syringe, but it's not the type that you can put a needle on. It was the type that you administer medicine with. We got a bunch of these things laying around the house because we got animals. But what I did, I cut the end off of it, and it just so happens that a 177 caliber pellet will fit right in this puppy. See, it just slides down there like that. And let me get a few of them in off camera, and then I'll show you what the deal is. I was out one day last week, and it was so cold. I got to where I couldn't load pellets anymore because I couldn't pick them up and hold them. This will kind of solve that, in a sense. Even a friend of mine, we were talking about the inconsistency in the pellet diameters and having the ability to swedge a pellet to a particular bore or to a particular size would be a good thing. And he has a mini lathe, and I think what we're going to do is try to make one out of metal, or brass or something. And the plunger end of the pellet, I'm sorry, the end of the plunger, this end here, right here, would be shaped in such a way as that when you insert it into the syringe and then you put pressure on it, boy, this is really hard to do from here. You put pressure on it to push the pellets out, like so, because you can push them right into the bore, that it would not only size the outside of the pellet, but also true up the inside of the back of the skirt. And that's something with inexpensive pellets. See, that's not very good. I mean, it's out around a little bit. Quick solution to fix that is you can take a 22 long rifle, a lead 22 long rifle, and just kind of take it, stick the bullet right there, and give it a little twist with a little bit of pressure, and it'll chew it out. Don't do it too hard though, because it will increase the skirt size to where now you can't get it loaded in the rifle. So, but that's really all I have for right now. There we go. Hopefully, I've acquired a computer that has a editing suite on it. So hopefully, in the next week or so, I'll get that figured out and be able to edit up these videos. And as soon as I figure out a way, I don't have a tripod or anything. I'm going to have to figure out a way to put one phone, at the target, looking at the targets, and one phone on me while I'm shooting, and yeah, I'll be able to edit all that together and string together a halfway decent video, I think, rather than just, amateur hour like what I'm doing now. Not that that'll be anything other than amateur hour, too. Also, just as a side note, because I have this computer with the editing suite, I'm going to be getting a capture card. And I had mentioned earlier on this channel about I'm going to be starting another channel, Graybeard Gaming. And I do a lot of, well, I was doing Call of Duty, but to be frank with you, I got pissed off at the whole way that that game is handled through Microsoft. The last I downloaded Call of Duty Modern Warfare Black Ops, I think it was. Put the disc in, and it loaded the disc, and it said, hey, you need these 5 expansion packages. Okay, go ahead. And it started downloading them. Then it threw out, oh, well, the game needs an update of 147.83. What is it? Gigabytes, whatever the big one is. I'm not a computer guy, obviously. But with my slow Wi-Fi, it took a week and a half to download it. And then it's just like the gameplay is so toxic. I took it off the machine. Anyway, but I do a lot of racing games and some other stuff, and I think it'd be fun. But I'm going to be getting that going pretty soon too. And weather permitting, and me being able to stay healthy, I'm hoping to get back out on the water this year and do some fishing. But anyway, that's kind of where we're at right now. So I'm going to be going out tomorrow and testing these pellets. Oh, by the way, I did a weight comparison. I did 10 pellets 10 times. So I took 10 pellets and weighed them collectively. And I did that 10 times, and I averaged all those numbers. And then divided that by 10, and that gave me, with the Humorex, their 8 grain pellets, and they tended to run about 8.2 grains. And then I actually separated out. I weighed 10 pellets until I had 10 8.1s, 10 8.2s, 10 8.3s. Reason being because if you think about it, 1 point of 1 grain on an 8 grain pellet is, quite a bit in weight, and it's going to affect the way those pellets fly. So just for punching holes purposes, trying to get that magic 10-shot group with, that's just one ragged hole, shooting all those pellets that weigh exactly the same thing may behoove me. It may not. I don't know. We'll find out. But anyway, that's where we're at. So, guys, have fun and be safe, and wear your PFD if you're on the water, please. Don't make. I used to be a firefighter. Don't make guys like me have to come get your body out of the river. That ain't no fun. It's not fair. It's not fair to your friends and family. It's not fair to the people who have to risk their lives to come out and find you. Wear your PFD. There it is. I'm going to say it every time. If you don't want to hear it, then don't watch my channel anymore, because it's going to be in every video I do. Wear your PFD. Okay? All right, guys. We will see you again in a day or so. Later. Bye-bye.